Welcome everyone. If you're coming in, my name is Fornesus. On the weekends and at night, and really any time of day, I'm an artist. I draw stuff, I paint on stuff. Sometimes I actually do paint. Most of the time though, I'm using painting as a way to create something else. For instance, this is technically a painting, technically a sculpture. Sculpture, yeah. I am wearing a pride shirt. I'm also gonna be wearing this, I guess, human hat. Well, I mean, it says number, but it means human. Before I continue the stream, probably, yeah, I probably need to do something with do something with the maybe even my mic. But definitely with my camera. But yeah, this is my painting for now. And yeah, right now I am kind of fighting dissociation in a way, in a sense. This is kind of my attempt at doing so. But let me test out this this mic. I think it should be doing a little bit better now. Yeah, so in all honesty, my Pride Month so far has been, I don't know. Yeah, because every time I try to yeah, it's weird. Yeah, because I'm somebody who normally doesn't do that much on social media, but I've been posting videos and stuff like that lately, and it seems like on YouTube for some reason they allow assholes to be on the platform and just like completely undermine my message, which is okay because I actually, well, I used to block them, but now I think YouTube's made it easier to hide different users from my videos and from seeing anything from me ever again. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, last night I did that after my stream then. So yeah, I'm gonna keep posting probably Pride content, even though I'm kind of struggling with this like dissociative state. In a way, anyway. But I mean, I'm someone who is normally a problem solver. And so I try to do my best to like figure out what's going on, figure out why is it going on. I'm pretty sure that for me dissociation is a defense mechanism, which is why I've been like doing so much with art as of late, particularly weird types of art as of late, because I kind of just want to stray away from reality in some sense, because my imagination is like way better. At least to some degree anyway. Yeah, so if you want to see what I just did, here it is. I just outlined the drops of acrylic gesso that I poured on top of this sculpture. Kind of like what I did in this area yesterday. Well, last night. So now I'm probably gonna have to decide where else to do that technique. See if it's like worth it, etc. I feel like it is. Yeah, and I have to see if this area of ink is dry yet. I poured like a bunch of ink on it. I'm not someone who always likes to, I don't know, I don't really care for perfect brush strokes or pen strokes. I normally orient myself towards just like getting something done on the fly without real planning. That's how I build up most of my art pieces. I simply go with like some kind of flow that I'm feeling. And I often talk to myself a lot, which is why I'm just chatting on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Twitch. On YouTube, I keep my streams at like the same category. And yeah, this is literally me dissociating. Like, let's make that clear. Like, I guess in my mind, I'm kind of like hiding it, but at the same time, you know, the dissociation normally wins, just because the world is just so full of shit that dissociation is kind of like the only answer and almost the only relief that I feel like someone like me could have. At the same time, sometimes I even feel like I might be like one of the few people, if not like the only person, who deals with like a lot of the issues that I deal with. You know, I try to find some kind of creative outlet through art. Like, for instance, I literally used my prescription medication bottles as part of my artwork, just because I feel like the world doesn't seem to understand what it's like to have multiple disabilities and chronic illnesses. Just overall unempathetic to those of us who have to live our lives in such a way that we're dependent on these pharmaceuticals, and a lot of it is because we're simply disabled. I mean, that's really the only thing. And like these medications that I take, they help to some degree prevent disability progression. They're not like 100%. I still suffer on a daily basis, but they lessen the suffering a lot. And you know, personally, it's kind of like a fragile piece. As in PEACE, piece. And so I created a fragile piece, as in PIECE, to kind of symbolize just like the fragility of keeping it all together. The fragility that a lot of people do not appreciate because they haven't walked in my shoes. And then at the same time, there's the fact that because they haven't walked in my shoes, a lot of people make assumptions about me just for taking these medications, or you know, having disabilities that are just like so bad that they impede my function, at least when it comes to, you know, a neurotypical able-bodied level. Because I'm not an old person quite yet. I'm 29, turning 30 and later this year. And so a lot of people have these assumptions. You know, hey, you're young, you're not supposed to face these things that you're facing. Or like you're too young to face them. Maybe even sometimes like questioning my diagnosis, like, are you even disabled? Because even to a degree, I noticed that even like colleagues at work, they tend to try to change the topic whenever I bring up my disabilities. And to me, it's crazy because, you know, we're supposed to be about accepting each other. And here I am, kind of having to suffer in silence. You know, meanwhile, they're talking about, hey, I like this podcast. Or hey, what's your thought about this new health trend? And then for me, it's like, I can't get on that health trend because of my ill health. It's kind of like there's people in general make it seem like if you're disabled, you're missing out on something, or you're missing a part of yourself, because that's kind of the way that they see disability. They don't see us as human. They see us as, you know, some kind of charity case. That's one extreme. The other extreme is just like disregarding what we face at all. And it's pretty there's like a mental health toll, definitely, that I personally face because of those types of situations. Just like I really do not want to interact with people on a regular basis because I do not need their judgment. I don't need them to view me as some kind of alien or avoid like talking to me or whatever when I'm in a clearly public space and there's, yeah, it's weird. So this is like the type of peace that I can get, just like dissociating. So yeah, for me, dissociating is a bit of a way for me to heal because of the way that people have always viewed me. Ironically, dissociation is probably when I make like the most start. You know, maybe people don't appreciate it as much as I want them to, but for the most part, I make a lot of art when I'm kind of in this sort of semi-dissociative state, when I feel like I'm not truly a part of this world, because it empowers me almost to dream up this different world, or better facilitate like the idea of being in a different world altogether. when I'm happy, I don't really have that kind of inspiration. But when I'm in this dissociative state, I'm still fully aware of stuff. Clearly, I am since I'm talking. But at the same time, it's just weird. It's kind of like living in this state of liminality that people just cannot relate to. So you almost feel like your suffering is, in a way, not real. But in fact, in reality, it definitely exists. Even though I'm like perpetually gaslit. And then I have to almost go through these weird states of mind where all I can do is think about my journey, even just like think about my journey in an art piece. I have to sit like quietly. Most of the time I need to have like some kind of external stimulation so I can think clearly. But wow. A lot of my more recent strokes may not have been captured by the camera because I basically forgot to do so. But yeah, this is what the piece looks like now. So it definitely has a lot of drawing. What I'm wondering is if it's ready for getting archived or not. I'd like to think that it is because it looks like it, but I'm not quite sure. I'm just touching up the little parts that you can't see on the screen. Wow. I mean, even today, I'm facing like a lot of allergies right now. I think it's the end of allergy season anymore. I mean, not anymore. I mean, I think it's probably like already the end of allergy season, but I'm still getting the sniffles. Ugh. But I also need to see probably maybe I can like try to find a piece of paper that I don't mind discarding. Alright. Yeah, not sure why, but sometimes my lav mic loses connection, which I don't like. But I actually found I forgot I had these pride rings. But okay, so I found the tea bag. Well, tea bag, I don't know, container. That's not what it's called. Packet. That's what I'm gonna use to test this. See if it's dry yet or not. Maybe I should use one of the white ones. Do so carefully. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty dry. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. I don't quite feel comfortable drying that out. I like my ring. Dried ring. Kind of subtle though. I wish it was a little more out in the open. Whereas I have a Philippine flag ring. Well, Philippine sun ring. I love this thing too. This is a stem ring. That's why I like this thing. Because I can just like stem with it the whole day. I actually did that the last time I was at the office a few weeks back. It was pretty calming. There's probably some people who noticed, but of course, if you're at the office, it is illegal to discriminate against somebody. Well, it's against company policy to do so, to discriminate against someone for their disability. So I've actually seen like a lot of people stim while they're there. Alright, small touch-ups. I think that's all I have left, really. for this piece. Yeah, and I think the touch-ups are done. I'm gonna try to find by the way, this is supposed to be yourself. They'll adjust. That's what it means. And I'm gonna switch the category. Not that. To art. And this is for Twitch purposes. Won't affect any other platform. Descent into chaos. I might watch that, even though this is technically my strictly art YouTube profile. And there's also a video that I'm watching now about artists and mental illness. Yeah, maybe I can stop monitoring the Streamlabs, because I mainly only want to monitor my voice anyway. Ooh. I accidentally ate my antenna. Alright, so right now, to anyone who has just joined, first off, thank you for joining. If there is anyone. Secondly, I'm working on this kind of multi-dimensional painting slash sculpture. It's definitely, I guess it's not what most people would attribute to as being a sculptural painting. Rather, it's a literal sculpture on top of a painting, which is also being painted on. So yeah, and I created this piece because of my frustration with the fact that a lot of people tend to view chronic disabilities, especially when they appear to be invisible, as in you're not like using a walking aid or a wheelchair or have a cast or anything like that. At least on a regular basis anyway. You know, sometimes I have to wear a walking boot if my symptoms are particularly bad. But overall, I have a bunch of invisible disabilities. And it's kind of frustrating, just like the way that people view disabilities that they quote unquote can't see. Which is why I want to show people what it takes for me to feel some kind of normalcy. Basically, I have to take like all of these different medications here. And of course, almost all of them are empty. But that's besides the point. You know, I have to take all of these different medications that were once in these different bottles just to function. You know, I have to take these eye drops just to be able to sleep at night or in the morning because of my ADHD making it kind of impossible to sleep at a normal time. I have to take this injector pen that you probably cannot see, but it's like right here and here. I have to take that because otherwise I would have like even worse asthma and allergy symptoms. And I would have like chronic sinus infections to this day probably. And you know, like people who I interact with at work, for instance, they seem to be almost like tired of hearing about my health issues. Like every time I try to open up about them, you know, they try to shift to a different conversation. So there's like that level of frustration that I cannot be my true self just because I'm different, and I suffer because people don't want to hear about suffering to like that much of a degree. And then this isn't even covering at all the degrees to which my mental wellness suffers, partly because of these issues and society's reactions to these issues, but at the same time just on account of being neurodivergent and overall thinking differently and all of that. And basically there's also just the fact that there's like these different socially acceptable ways to heal. For some reason, even though everyone at some point has to use them, you know, prescription medications, they are for some reason vilified. Of course, some of it is fair criticism on account of just the evil practices of the pharmaceutical industry. But at the same time, you know, those of us who have no other choice, like what do you expect us to do? Just like sit there and suffer? And I mean, it even goes so far that people who are low income or poor and have disabilities cannot afford their own medications because society doesn't want to pay for them or, you know, help people who are disabled and need medications. But yeah, right now I'm trying to ruminate on whether or not this is ready to be archived. And by archived, I mean I'm gonna probably like put a bunch of this Mod Podge stuff on it. Here we go. Yep. I think if I put it on the Mod Podge, I might like start from the bottom and then work my way to the top. But I need to get my paintbrush first. And I probably also need to take off my rings. But yeah, here are my rings. One for pride, one for queer, trans, and non-binary pride. One for Filipino pride. I'm gonna put them up here in a safer space and area. Then I'm gonna get my paintbrush. Okay, my brush is here all along. And unfortunately, I will have to open my door because of how loud my father talks. You might end up hearing some Tagalog conversations. Hello. Okay. For some reason, I can hear his voice louder than the video I'm playing. Let me change that. Maybe like the type of art video that I want to watch is one that's about like mental health and abstract art, because that's like usually the type of work that I make anyway. Abstract. Of course, it's not gonna help that my remote was upside down. That wasn't gonna do anything. Mental illness, abstract art. There we go. No, it's a lot of I have creative blocks, kind of mental health. That's what they delve into. Art and mental disorders, are they related? Expressionism. Alright. You may be able to hear that. Sorry about it. I'll try to lower the volume. Or maybe I'm like overestimating the types of like volume or whatever that people play their streams at. This is where I'm gonna start. I should probably put that into view as much as I can. There it is. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are like a lot of people who have been looking at my art anyway. They've been telling me, I guess, that it looks like overall way more expression, like way more expressive. Actually, that's the correct word. And I like to think that it is now a lot more expressive than it used to be. This is before, I was trying to mimic realism. Now I'm trying to go into like as close to raw expression as possible. Which is kind of ironic because I really am going through this kind of dissociative phase. I wouldn't really call it a phase either. It is part of my more long-term semi-diagnosis. Reason why I say semi-diagnosis is because my therapist did want to avoid labels, but I have to um accept the labels because and for legal purposes I needed to technically have the labels because I mean that just is how it is in the US. Like if anyone's watching right now and they are not from the US, that's how it is here. And if you are, then you know. That's probably like also why we have like such, I guess, a strange way of approaching identity politics or like identity in general, because we have this sense of like so much like a hyper legalism basically. It's like if you're a police officer, then you are eligible for special treatment for some reason. If you are a person of color, then you're supposed to have like these sets of experiences, and it's gone on, like the definition of those experiences have gone on to the point where some people try to attempt to say that Asians, for instance, I'm Asian, we apparently do not face racism. According to some people, sometimes it's misguided white people. Sometimes it's misguided people of color who do not have any knowledge whatsoever about Philippine history, for instance, or Asian history in general, especially Asian American history. But I digress. But yeah, right now I'm feeding my art to a layer of archival Mod Podge, because I feel like if I work on it anymore, ugh, I'm at least gonna treat like the parts that I know I'm not gonna put any more effort into with this layer. I just wish I just wish sometimes that I could better organize, oh god, my workplace, my workspace, I mean. Oh, I forgot I just applied Mod Podge there. Uh, I mean, there was an interesting video. Art therapy heals the soul. Uh, okay, so these videos are either about art therapy or creative blockers. Or like just completely vilifying mental illness. I guess I can watch this, even though I'll most likely very much disagree with their practice. Because I mean, calling art, I guess calling an art piece disturbing because of their creators' mental illness or mental illnesses, that doesn't really sit right with me, but whatever. Some of these YouTube videos is just like they have like no volume whatsoever. So I'm gonna have to up the volume for this one. And there's this like fruit fly flying around that seems to want to be a part of the art piece. Maybe it wants to eat the Mod Podge. Not quite certain which one it is, but it needs to stay away either way. Oh my gosh. My big head just bumped into my phone. That's like trying to record this. Alright, session. Let me give myself some relief. I'm still human, but I do not feel like wearing this hat right now. Oh, wait, why do I have yeah, why do I actually have my door open? Oh yeah, because of the mod podge and like having to I guess the fact that I definitely will have to go to the bathroom and wash off everything. Yeah, I think I get allergies for some reason or like I get like a stuffy nose kind of when I wear earphones sometimes. I don't understand it. I mean headphones, not earphones. There's a difference. I mean, you'll know the difference if you're like a millennial, I think. Or like an older Gen Z. Older member of Gen Z. Basically, a zillennial, you probably know the difference. Otherwise, I really do have to start feeling old. Using like archaic language. Yeah, I do find that to be the case a lot. Self-portraits. I mean, like when people like paint their mental illnesses, it's usually some kind of self-portrait. For me, it's like I have to like detach myself from it. I think that's just like my way of being, too. But it's like I want to try to fight against it sometimes, just because it's just so inconvenient. Like it really is just like not not necessarily how I want to live my life. What am I talking about? Yikes! Sorry about that. Oh. Wow. Even with cats as the subject, they're just like, okay, well, the cat looks more sinister now because of mental illness. Kind of strange, but the characterization, I mean, not necessarily the cats. People draw cats all the time. There are like people who specialize in like drawing or painting babies. So you know why not specialize or just like draw cats if that's what you're into. Okay, I feel like this like analysis that I'm listening to right now on YouTube, maybe a little, maybe a little bit of a stretch. Oh, oh no. I'm not talking about the archiving process I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, there like one of the subjects featured is a child who grew up in a concentration camp, in Poland, and yeah, they are describing her mental state. So yeah, that's probably very accurate. I could only imagine. Um, and yeah, I mean that's is that kind of experience that does bring about mental illness in a lot of people, even children. I mean, of course, it's possible, especially since me, I already have PTSD, and I don't know, maybe I'm somebody who very often I don't think I romanticize my childhood in any way, shape, or form, but I do tend to not see my own experiences in like the true light that they're probably supposed to be, the way that other people would see them, I guess. So I'm so used to listening to people who told me that I don't have any problems. I kind of absorbed that, a bit of that, quite a bit of that, and as a result, I have to go to therapy now because I keep believing, I keep like having that in my mind that like those people were correct, those people were right, even though they're definitely not. Yeah, right now I'm archiving my art piece with Mod Podge. Something, this is a really cool material in my view, because this yeah, this is like something that can just it can like make your artwork like waterproof if you need for that to be the case. And I actually used to make these like cardboard bracelets, and just like douse them in Mod Podge, and that and like I still have some of those bracelets to this day, actually. And some of them I gave out to people, actually, as gifts. Weird. I thought, maybe, hey, maybe one day I can sell those things, but that never I never got to that point. Yeah. So now they're talking about how people who aren't like classically trained artists, or traditionally trained artists, like how they're able to use like art as a form of self-expression. That's at least this other video that I'm watching now. I mean, hey, like that's kind of what I'm doing. Alright, so what else am I gonna do in this archiving session? Well, okay, this is definitely still an art session. Oh. Sorry, I hope my mic didn't like mess up. Yeah, I do find it weird. Like, art for me can be like anxiety inducing, but at the same time, it can be anxiety healing. It can be the catalyst for my healing in so many different ways, and it really has been. Like, I think that's ultimately what makes it so that I never like actually truly stop like making art. I've never gone like more than a few months without making art in my life, just because of that. There was a time, like, during the pandemic, I was like so creatively blocked. A lot of other people, they were enjoying like being able to stay home. Meanwhile, I was like creatively blocked because I was so scared of like going outside. And then I had to go outside a lot because I was panicking about my symptoms, about like, because I'm immunocompromised. I have been for like a very long time, to be honest. And so I was just like always perpetually scared of like my symptoms. And I always had to go to like the doctor just to have them evaluated, and just for them to turn out to be like allergies, or maybe a sinus infection at one point. Which yeah, that's a whole different story. Yeah, I think that is something incredible about art, though. Like, if you don't listen to like the people who want to gatekeep art, basically is like the thing, the tool, it's something that you can always do and be 100% yourself if you allow for that to happen. Anyway, that I think that's something that I've only like recently figured out, because basically like prior to like this month, like my main motivator for art has just been like, hey, you're pretty good at it, at like drawing. You should do more art. And now today it's like, today, like, the voice in my head is like coming from me. It's not coming from anyone else. Like, for me, art really is like this healing thing now, way more than it had been before. And and they just said in the video that everyone is a creative. We all have it in ourselves, and I agree with that. That's why I do not care for people who choose to see art as something that shouldn't be democratized. This is like completely and totally antithetical to like my idea of art or stuff, and then at the same time, it's like so pretentious in a way to me. Like I can't just agree with or co-sign with like this belief that art is something that shouldn't be accessible to everyone, because I believe that it should be accessible to everyone, whether for viewing or, you know, especially through creating. Let me watch the news. Let me watch the news. And then I think I'm gonna change the channel to crafting. Oh no, there's no news today. It's golf. Never mind. Golf is like that one thing that's gonna make me like fall asleep. And just like art and mental disorders, how are they related? Let me see what they think. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I definitely also think that like more people who have actual mental like illness should be, you know, the ones to craft like these narratives about you know, what mental illness looks like and how it relates to art in general. That's what I try to do. But I mean, people don't often listen to me for like a lot of reasons. Some of it is ableism, some of it is racism, some of it is just like, you know, hey, you're not a convincingly attractive person. Why should I listen to anything you say? There's a whole variety of like reasons why I feel like people don't listen to me. And so I just like make stuff for myself. At least that's what I try to do now. Before I would try to make stuff to get attention. Now it's like you should make stuff because you want to. And yeah. That's what I agree with now. Life is like way too short not to. Anyhow. So this is a film video. Okay. Maybe I should like turn up the gain so then people can like listen to it with me. But I also don't want to like get like copyright stricken by any means. So I'm gonna avoid that. Exactly. People always think that mentally ill people are supposed to be these violent beings. For me, when I get into like a violent rage, it's literally temporary. Literally temporary. Like when I get into some kind of rage, it just happens. It just is what it is. Like I you know, I almost feel like I don't even exist at that point. Yeah, in fact, most studies do say that if you're mentally ill, you're more likely to be a victim of a violent crime than being the perpetrator. People don't really understand that. People don't realize that being mentally ill makes you like 3 times more likely than a non-mentally ill person to be killed by police. At least that's the case in the United States. For me, I always have to like that's like kind of one of the more dehumanizing realities of people who are mentally ill in the United States. So for me, I always feel like I have to be like open and honest about all of that kind of stuff. Um, because there's a lot of other people suffering, and yeah. Oh yikes! I spread the ink all over the place. That sucks. But that happened. So the silver metallic ink unfortunately will not stay on. Uh, Let me try anyway. We just like be really gentle. Ow. Okay, I hope the ink didn't like completely just like mess up just because of my archiving. I probably also need to get like my smaller brushes, so I can paint and archive some other parts. I definitely said I was gonna switch categories like a while ago. Okay. I need to stop like accidentally eating my antenna. You know what? Let me switch to the crafting. Just like probably no one watching me because for some reason my content never like shows up on like it never gets any like it almost never gets new viewers when I'm on the art channel. Maybe today's the day when that's different, but I doubt it. I'm gonna switch to the makers and crafting because a lot of the work that I'm doing right now is both art and like craft in so many different ways. Especially since I'm literally like using craft like regular crafting materials like X-Acto knives and Mod Podge to create these pieces and to be able to express myself. That's what I'm doing lately. Now I'm like I think in the Philippines they would call me kite kite. At least that's what my mother always used to call me as a kid because I would always just like run around everywhere, be like really active and all that. There's I find it a little weird that I'm actually overweight now, but life just happens sometimes. I still have like all the energy in the world to like draw and paint pretty often. I just have like additional challenges on top of that. But for the most part, yeah. Like once I get like inspired by an idea, I will not stop. That's what you're seeing right now. If you're watching. Oh, blood and art. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I do not know who this person is. You're making this video about it. And he's like the person who is like narrating the video. Derek Ross? No, I don't think that's... I cannot read that handwriting. I don't know why they have that type of... Why they have that typography, but I cannot read it. Oops. But yeah, if you are seeing my stream right now, and you're in the makers and crafting channel, welcome first off. Secondly, I'm an artist who has been recently like doing a lot when it comes to like craft. I mean, I still do crafting basically from an artist perspective, because that's what I'm used to doing, focusing on like design and not so much on craft, but I have been doing a lot more when it comes to like crafting. It's helping me heal. It's also helping me in terms of like fully realizing my artwork in general. Just like doing it in like the sculptural kind of way, kind of thinking like a crafter in a sense, even though I'm not necessarily one. And yeah, I'm currently overstimulating myself because that is like the only way to keep myself awake right now. Because I only got like 4 4.5 hours of sleep because I was so like stimulated yesterday during the day. So now I have to like keep myself awake. At least until I nap with my dog later tonight. At that point, I don't necessarily have to keep myself awake anymore. I can just relax, nap, and sleep next to my dog. But that's not until later. Right now, I'm trying to like archive this art piece that I've been making. I actually started making like stuff like this probably a few years ago, like maybe 2016, 2017. At that point, I was just like crafting these bracelets, these cardboard bracelets, and now I don't really make those bracelets anymore. I think I can try. I will probably try doing them again. Ooh, sorry, I'm full. Like when I was eating a little while ago, I was so hungry. I thought I was never gonna get full, and now I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't eat the extra stuff that I was tempted to eat. That would have been a disaster. Yeah, unfortunately, this big giant brush, it would probably destroy my artwork if I did it solely. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this paintbrush. It was right here this whole time. I have no idea where I got this burst of energy from. It is undeserved, unearned, all of that. Like, it should not exist. But I'm all of a sudden have a bunch of like energy. Like, why? Why do I have all this energy? I don't understand it. This is like way more energy than I normally have on any kind of stream. My Twitch streams are normally never this energetic, but like with me having like this much energy. So I'm kind of scared right now. In all honesty. Where did this come from? Where the hell did this come from? I guess it's just that time of the day for me. I think most people go through this, but like, for me, I do have these times of the day when I have like extra super energy for like no reason whatsoever. It's unearned, unnecessary, and otherwise unnatural if it weren't for the fact that it was me experiencing these bursts. It's kind of funny because like I spent like the first hour of the stream just being like no energy, and now this is me right now. Right, like in a channel that I haven't actually posted until like last week, basically. So like it's like I probably don't even fit into the Makers channel on Twitch. Whereas on YouTube I just have everything set as being in the People and Blogs channel, because I don't see a creativity kind of channel on YouTube. So I just assume, hey, I'm supposed to be in People and Blogs. That's what I am. People, not necessarily blogs. I don't really vlog. Like on my social media, normally I have no idea why I started doing it, but I've kind of been making videos for myself. Some people end up liking the content, so that's nice. But ultimately, it's those videos that I post on my Fornesus platforms or Fornesus media Instagram platform. I have though I made those just because I wanted to tell myself, hey, this is love yourself. Basically, love yourself, be yourself. That's it. There's like nothing else that you should do in your life other than that. Like if you're not doing that, then you're not really living life. And it's true. I'm not really living life whenever I get into these patterns of self-hatred, just like not even being able to feel like I can be myself when I feel like pressured to be something else all the time. Which I do feel like a lot of the time. Okay, well now I am painting with both hands, so wait. This is like the last stage of my artwork. Kind of basically I feel like I can't really be for sure about that because with like some of these bottles over here at this point, I don't feel like I can call them finished yet with like these on the bottom, but like with these here, with all of these, which is what I've been working on, not having like in frame, unfortunately. I do think that I definitely don't need to do any more like drawing or painting on these bottles, so I am archiving them. I'm archiving them, and I'm trying to archive like the space around them as well. I need to like spread this somewhere here. Yeah, let me put this here. I hope it doesn't drop. Oh my gosh. No. Okay. Let me get back. His name is Derek. I still don't know what the last name is. Okay. So yeah, archiving. I archive like really messily because I like to think of my art as like this rough kind of thing. It's like a rough kind of crafting for me. You know, I guess crafting is supposed to be like this organized practice, but I also think that might be a really simplistic way of like thinking about crafting. I'm gonna avoid. I'm gonna refrain from like thinking from the thinking that that's really all it is. Because for me, I like to be like really expressive in like every single aspect. I think I've always been like that actually. Even with like even when I'm like trying to craft something, I always do it like abstractly because that's like how it feels the most natural to me. Yeah, that's something I always wonder. I'm watching this video right now. Just like this artist talking about how he basically had this like natural, I guess, gift or talent for like drawing. I kind of wonder if that's like if that's something that I'm pretty sure that's also something that would apply to like crafting. It's because there are like these people who are inclined in like different societies all around the world, even indigenous societies, where um some people are just like naturally born to craft. It seems, and draw and paint and all that stuff. And for me, I don't know. I never quite felt like that, even though other people tried to apply that on me. And I was always confused as to like why are you telling me that I'm like a natural born artist or whatever, or like naturally talented? I don't know. I personally still don't understand what they were talking about. Then I think eventually it's because I didn't really enjoy making art at that point in time. I was really just like enjoying the adoration of being like, oh wow, you can make this realistic looking drawing. That's really what I enjoyed. I did not enjoy like the process of making art actually. Um, except when I was like making like my little cities that I was make when I was growing up. Like I would like make these drawings of like these maps of different cities and just like live in them basically in my head. In my head, I was like, I lived there in those cities. I really wish I still had like those drawings too. I mean, they were just on copy paper, but I really wish that I had those. That I still had those drawings. Like I don't even know if I still have that drawing in middle school that helped me win like an art competition. Because that was literally my first and like only medal until I graduated high school, and even there I actually only got that medal because I participated in a program. That's it. It was a tough program. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was literally for people who wanted to be in the medical field. You can see where that went. That did not happen for me. I briefly worked as a secretary at a hospital, but that's the extent of my medical field experience. Other than like having to really study my different illnesses, that's yeah. And of course, for me, I'm studying my different. When I study my different illnesses, it's because of my health and wellness. It's not really because I want to do as a career. Then again, it's not like I'm necessarily doing art as a career either. But it is closer to a career for me because I have actually gotten commissions before. I have made money off of my art before. It's not that much, definitely not, but it has happened before. I don't really want to do commissions anymore. I just want to be like self-expressive, and then once I feel like I'm in a place where I find where I can say that I found myself again, then maybe I can do commissions. But I don't even know if like this kind of work is something that people would actually commission in the first place. But then again, I always like devalue my work. I have that bad habit of doing so, and not really seeing the full value in my art. And sometimes it does come from other people. saying that my art is bad, but I haven't actually had that experience in a really long time. I actually, come to think of it, I haven't really had that experience. I've just had people be like, "That looks good," but like, I don't really like that style. Which yeah. Maybe I almost kind of wish that I had that kind of push so then I could um grow in my art. I could have grown in my art back then rather than waiting until now when I'm like almost 30 years old and still struggling to find my artistic creative voice. Like for some reason I have for some reason like I was actually like commended by like English professors for having like a great writing voice, a great creative writing voice. But for some reason, even though um I've been told for a very long time that I by like different people that I'm good at art or that they like my art or whatever. Like I don't feel like I've actually found quite yet my actual artistic voice. But I think I'm getting there. I'm getting there now, anyway. Not sure why I'm telling strangers on the internet this, but at the same time, I'm yeah. I think I may have lost my may have lost that edge. You know that whole thing. You know what? I don't think I should make any more drawing. I should make it like draw anymore on here just because I don't know. I feel like it would be excessive at this point. Maybe I can try a little bit. I can try a little bit. But, like my brushes are like, please let me die. My brushes are kind of like, look at this brush. Like look at this brush right now. It's totally it totally does not want to be here anymore. You'll have to be here for a little bit more, a little longer. Uh, there. Huh. Uh, I hate it when I'm right. I really hate it when I'm right about like wanting to draw more. Uh, I hate it even more when I forget that I need to have like a different view on my overhead camera. because literally no one can see what I'm doing right now. At least if there is anyone on the stream watching. Oh wow. Now you can see everything, probably, but maybe not everything yet. Oh my gosh, this is phallic. Oh my god. That's just in my subconscious, isn't it? Just. Ugh. Okay, let me like do something about this so it's not so just. Oh god. I always wonder why parents want to like censor everything. That's maybe that's why I'm like really indifferent to children, because like their parents just in general suck. Like in general, they just suck. I think it's really like the parents who give like children a bad reputation, because they never want their kids to. They really never want their kids to explore or like have any kind of self-expression. It's like I definitely feel bad for those children who have to live in that kind of way. Have to live through that kind of experience. Because I personally was one of those kids. So yeah, I can definitely sympathize with like children who have to live in like those kinds of really uber conservative environments. Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah, I should have known that Cleveland, Ohio, they produce a lot of artists. I mean, the one who I always remember is Drew Carey, just because of his show. There's Rock from the Sun. It was like probably like the first sitcom that I ever watched. Okay, hopefully I am setting this thing up to not be so it eventually just became really phallic, and I happens so like unintentionally. I hate that. Like somebody perverted might still look phallic, but now it's not as much anymore. Let me put this back into the art mix. I mean, I haven't had like any shadows all stream long anyway, so I'm gonna always, even though probably falsely, assume there's like very few viewers. Can't believe I've only been streaming for like 2 hours now at this point. Seems like I've been streaming a lot longer. Ah, almost fell. Yeah, I'm at the 2 hour mark now. Okay. 2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Gonna put this back in. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna put it back into just chatting because I've been chatting. Shark. Yeah, I've like been chatting ever since I put the stream into makers and crafting, even though there's like no one in the actual chat. Which is why I assume that like maybe there isn't really anyone watching the stream. Which is why I will just like continue to have the stream in different Twitch categories. Really until like somebody chats me up. That's why I do every stream. Like if somebody chats me up, then I stop doing that. That's kind of what I've been like. Honestly, I have like no loyalty whatsoever to like any category. Ah, that looks good. Look at that line radiation. Okay. Halo. Oh, like this. Well, I made a mistake. I don't like making mistakes, but because I'm a perfectionist, but I have been learning to accept them now. Uh, yeah, I think there's like the problem, my problem, drawing, my problem battle. I've lost track of like what kind of, techniques I'm employing on this piece. It's part crafting, it's part drawing, it's part painting, it's just, ugh. And then on top of that, it's like my, oh wow, it's already 6 o'clock and I haven't taken my vitamins yet. Oh, what's wrong with me? Well, maybe I'm gonna take a vitamin break. In a few minutes. I'm also gonna have to take my lipstick off. Which isn't fun, but it only lasts like a few minutes. But it might also mean that I'm not doing it right. Because it only takes like less than a minute for me to take it off. And I apply like maybe like one layer. Because I'm lazy. But yeah. Yeah, and then I just like totally remembered that I have to, the first thing I have to do is I have to call my insurance company, activate my card, unfortunately, because for some reason I forgot to do it all on Friday when I mean I was working, but yeah. I could have definitely done it. I could have definitely done it then, I just didn't do it. Alright, so, well now I'm, yeah, I feel like this is like, I feel like I've, drawn. I think I have drawn what I needed to draw. I wanted to draw some more here, but I think that might be overkill. Yeah, that would be overkill. That would be overkill. I think, like, from every point of view, there's something to be appreciated. Like, even just with, like, the drawing alone. Like, every point of view. That's what I hate about myself as an artist. I feel like every single point of view, from every single perspective, a drawing that I make has to look good. A painting that I make has to look good. A sculpture that I make has to look good. And if it doesn't look good, I feel like I'm gonna always have to, like I always have to, improve it so that it does look good. It's my perfectionism, talking. That's, and I think it's also a part of my, dissociation as well. Because You know, I almost dissociate myself from my body, and when I draw, sometimes, or like, I don't know, because I feel like if I'm like too rooted in reality, too grounded in reality, then I don't even try at all like the possibilities that I should be trying in order to not only improve my art but also to just like expand my horizons. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of definitions that people use to describe the way that they dissociate. For me, it's really just like the state of mind where I may not necessarily know what I'm doing, or I may not necessarily be feeling like I'm totally present, but at the same time, I'm aware that it is a different state of mind, and that I'm at least somewhat conscious of my actions. Like when I get really angry, sometimes sometimes I like go in and out of consciousness before or after I take an action. Like I just drift into consciousness. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong, and then immediately I go back. Never do anything wrong to like people or anything like that, but like, yeah. Yeah, this artist on the YouTube video I'm watching right now, talking about how he lost his dog. Yeah, I can feel that because I actually lost one of my dogs a few years ago. Well, 7 years ago. He's actually been dead for longer than he was alive. Now at this point, and it saddens me every time I think about that. Uh, yeah, every time I think about that because she was so happy, and like her breed is supposed to live up to 18, so that like magnifies the grief that I have, when it comes to when it came to her loss, her passing. All right. Yes. Now this is what my these drawings look like. Okay. Yeah. I think really. Yeah. Truly. Every single point of view has something to like, in my opinion. If you're like somebody who is actually going to look at this piece and appreciate it in the first place. I mean, that's obviously who I make this for. The imaginary person will hopefully be touched by the piece. I'm just kidding. No. Like I've been saying, I've been making this piece and others for myself. You know, people just have to deal with it. If they can't deal with it, then I don't know what to tell them. I just don't care anymore. Because I care way more about like my ability to express myself now than I do my ability to please other people with my artwork. Alright, so I am now going to work on doing this, which is archiving the pieces. And I can probably move this page category to art again. Like just in time for me to move to the just chatting. I stopped talking. I don't know why. I wasn't talking that much, but I wasn't. I'm just gonna move this to art. I think I got tired of talking excessively, even though that's what I do every time I stream. I talk excessively. I talk too much. I talk about too many different things, and I lose myself in conversation. But I almost never lose my like art flow entirely. It just goes to a different place, and really, what anyone who has seen my stream at all sees what you guys see is literally like the process of like how I make art, for the most part. You know, unless it's like a rare stream when I'm not making art, when I'm just like cleaning up. I don't know why those do so well, but they appear to do pretty well on Twitch. Maybe not so much on YouTube. My streams don't normally do that well on YouTube at all. Except for like 2 streams last week. I don't even know how that happened. Yeah. Cheeseburger sushi. That'll be an abomination. I have no idea why I'm always like this. I have to be like watching a video when I work. I have to be like watching TV when I work, or like even while I'm working from home, I have to watch like TV, or I have to have something external that's like stimulating my mind. I don't understand it. That's just how I work. Whether it's like actual my job work or creative work, I have to have something on to like help inspire me. I forgot 90s music sounded like that. I think what I need to do now is I think I'm done. I'm finished. I'm completely done with the giant brush that I've been using to like basically almost completely ruin this art piece. Like this particular bottle. Yeah, now I just have to try the cement. These this bottle, this one bottle, this is my problem bottle. Problem like medicine bottle. Because it keeps trying to collapse in on itself. Okay. Okay, I think I will say the okay, so this finish is actually looking pretty good. Um Overall. Yeah, I've been archiving this art piece that I've been working on for like the past 3 days. I think this is like the third day that I've been working on this one. Technically speaking, because I did do some of these bottles um before. I just didn't like actually do anything on them. I just put gesso on them, hoping that one day I'll have a good idea as to how to use it. And now this is my idea on how to use it, just like expressing my disgruntlement at like just everyone when it comes to like the way that people view like disability in general. Basically, they think that equality is enough. They think that it's enough to simply, grant us equality, but we don't deserve anything extra, even if something extra is what we need to be able to survive in this world. Because for me, this is what I need to survive in this world. This is like literally the jars of or bottles of medicine that I take on a daily or at least regular basis. Um, yeah, like I take like a spray, but I take like a bunch of different spray bottles of nasal sprays. I take a lot of different pills. I take an injector. I there's a lot that I have to do and go through just to be able to survive in this world. And a lot of people, even at work, even when I was back at school, like like so many people would kind of like just disregard like these things, these things that are functionally disabling. It's just like they give you these platitudes about how no, you're not really disabled. You're just like using an identity as an excuse. And to me, like, here's my proof. Here's my proof. You can say whatever you want. You can cry to your mama, but here is my proof that I do indeed have to go through a lot of different things in life, just to function. Really, just like to function. I have to go through these like different things in life. Like, do not gaslight me. Please don't gaslight me. Please just like understand. Some of us go through different things in life, compared to you. There's really no battery left. Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess I'm gonna see how much longer this battery lasts. Then I'm gonna, like, when the battery runs out, I'm gonna probably wash my brushes, and then I'm gonna, put new batteries in, and then I'm gonna stop the stream. Um, Depending on, if I feel like I need to do any more or not. Oh my god. I bump into everything. Okay. And that's the good thing about, like, using a lav mic that isn't rechargeable, because if it's rechargeable, it's convenient. It normally lasts longer, but eventually, you're gonna need to recharge, so you can't, like, use it the entire day. Whereas something like this that that I've been using, I can walk around everywhere. I can And, like, when the battery runs out, I can literally just put in, like, some extra rechargeable batteries that I use. Um yeah. That's it. Hello. Alright, sorry about that. My battery did run out. Um, yeah, so I think for the most part I'm done here. I did just take my vitamins, so that's good. Um, like why was I'm wondering like why did my coworker like when I told him I was taking my vitamins, why did he just like not say shit? Um, why are people like that? Like you try to like you have kids, you tell us all the time about what you have to do for them. And then I want to say, like, I have to take vitamins, and apparently that's not allowed. Okay. I feel like it might just be a double standard on me because I don't know. Like, maybe that's why I get for like working with people who are Gen X. Because I mean, you know, in some ways it's a good thing. You know, they're apparently like the I don't give a sh- situation. I mean, generation. uh, I kind of like that. If I'm gonna be honest, I do like being with people who are kind of like that, but at the same time, sometimes I want a hint of empathy at some point. I mean, I'm a really empathetic person in general. Maybe it doesn't help that like I'm, ugh, I guess maybe like a decade and a half younger than them. But I don't know, like you guys were in my shoes one time. You know, even though it's already been like 15 to 20 years since then. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe just understand that we aren't all health nuts and able to exercise 24/7, or I don't know. Which is funny because I'm actually doing the best that I can. I've recently been walking, even though I have this chronic arthritis. Basically the type of arthritis that I have is this autoimmune form. You know what? Let me go to just chatting now, because that's what this is gonna be. Just chatting for the rest of the stream. Ah man. Yeah, actually, like okay, so like, hey, if you are somebody who's finding my stream because I just moved it to just chatting after around 3 hours. I actually started the stream as a just chatting stream, but no one was chatting with me, and I was trying to work on this art piece that you can see right now, right here. Uh, yeah, hold up. Let me allow me to try to. Let me put on my human hat. Human, human. Yeah, first off, let me put on my hat. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna. You can't see anything from that point of view. Ah, I think this is like the best that can be done in terms of like showing the actual stuff that I've just made. Yeah, it doesn't really look too impressive from this point of view, probably. But trust me, it took a very long time to get it all together. But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna make a weird joke, probably. Yeah, just like these ignorant ass people who um looked at my last video on my Fornesus YouTube channel. They were basically like Deuteronomy, blah 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 blah, and then they're just like reciting Bible verses at me just because I was like, queer and trans people deserve to, you know, be respected. We deserve to feel beautiful, wonderful, etc. And then these people are like, "Oh, you're a pedophile. Oh, you're a groomer." And then so basically, my pattern has been to clap back, then block their channel. Like that's been my pattern, and I can confirm that I just do it for me because for me I need to have like the last laugh. I just have to have the last laugh at haters, at ignorant ass people, at these people who say that I'm gonna go to hell for being gay. First off, y'all don't deserve heaven either. Like I know I can feel as I want about the some of the things that I've done in my life. Like it really, if you haven't lived life in a way, if you claim to have lived life in a way where you think that you're gonna go to heaven and you're saying bullshit like that, and you're basically also somebody who, I don't know, you're basically someone who's so judgmental. I don't know what kind of heaven you think exists. Um, but it's not gonna have you in it. It's not gonna have you in it. So yeah, and I mean, these people are calling me a pedophile just for being queer and non-binary or and whatever. I didn't even disclose any of that um to them. All I said was that queer and trans people need to feel respected. Queer and trans people deserve to feel beautiful, wonderful, and magical because that's what we are. That's what we are. It's Pride Month. Really, any month of the year, I will say that. I will say that. But like this whole moral panic bullshit that people are currently falling into, it's just so despicable. Because like these are the same people that maybe 10 years ago they were like, "Oh, I'm a big supporter of gay rights. I'm a big supporter of gay rights because I support marriage." And then now, like 10 years later, those ignorant ass people are talking about how drag queens shouldn't be reading in libraries. Drag queens shouldn't be on TV. It's like, like what do you think drag queens do? They wear makeup. They look fabulous. They wear nice ass clothes that you know are very interesting, especially compared to the context of a library. Secondly, they teach children about literacy and the importance of literacy. So I have no idea where you see the problem in that, but like you people make me sick. Like these people make me sick. These people who are just like judgmental, all that, they make me just really sick. Because first off, their hate is spreading to Gen Alpha, basically. The next generation, because they definitely know that they have lost Gen Z, and they lost the younger generation of millennials, such as myself. They lost to us already, so they want to brainwash the new generation, the next generations that are coming up. So basically, younger Gen Z, older Gen Alpha. That's the generation that they're targeting right now. They're targeting them with like these dumbass book bans. Um, Basically saying that we can't learn about Black history, about how white people enslaved Black people, even though that is literally the history of the United States. Um, there's also the history of residential schools. There's the histories of basically genocide against American Indian people. All those things happened. Jim Crow happened, segregation happened, convict leasing happened. There was literally a grave of 96 black people who were basically enslaved under a system called convict leasing, where they were as prisoners forced to labor and you know produce products from which the government would actually benefit from. The government was the beneficiary of their labor, and a lot of people died because of course those are inhumane conditions. And they found that grave up the road from my house here. Like that grave is literally like less than 5 miles away. In Let me try to remember my directions. That way. And if you don't know what that way means, that's northeast, to the northeast. Just like 5 miles, basic, less than 5 miles away. And I mean this area where I live in. I live in a city called Sugarland. Basically, this entire area used to be a sugar plantation on which enslaved Africans used to have to toil and you know lose lose the breadth of their potential because they were enslaved rather than being free and allowed to live their lives, um albeit by the context of whatever society they would have been a part of at the time. So there's all of that. But yeah, it just annoys the hell out of me. um but at the same time, I see the parallels among just all of these different groups that are oppressed, that have been oppressed. I mean, even Asian Americans, like barely anyone is talking about the fact that our history here in the US has been terrible. It has been shit. Complete shit for like almost in its entirety. Um yeah, because like in Hawaii, for instance, after white Americans took over the kingdom of Hawaii, um they, under false pretenses, basically enslaved, or they forced Filipino workers, Chinese workers, Japanese workers to toil away in the plantations that they set up there on Hawaiian, um native land of Hawaiian people. And they even had this whole tiered caste system. Basically, white people were at the top, of course. The folks at the middle were they were basically the Chinese and the Japanese people, like who labored, and I guess were allowed to have their own businesses to a degree, all of that. And then the bottom tier were the Filipino people. Hello, kumusta? And native Hawaiians. Um, and I mean, by the way, that's probably I think that's why there's a lot of families who have both. A lot of the Filipino families that have been there for a very long time. I guess that's why a lot of them also have native Hawaiian, lineage. So yeah, it's a weird history to listen. But yeah, it's just like really annoying. Because to me, it's almost like they don't want us to breathe. If we're part of a minority group, they don't want us to breathe. They don't want us to be able to live our lives. They just want us to accept the reality of being trapped in in America just because we apparently have human rights. We apparently have all of these amenities just because we live here, even though when you look different in America, you're not respected in the same way. You're not seen as being fully human. I mean, that's just a reality. Like, a lot of people may disagree. A lot of people probably do disagree. But yeah, that's kind of just how it is, though. Um, yeah, and I find it unfortunate that we kind of like almost choose to accept it because we don't have any other choice. So it's like the illusion of choice. But yeah, I mean that's what. Hello. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I try to be as expressive as possible. Uh, hello. Hello. Yeah, I was saying, that's why I try to be as expressive as possible when it comes to art, to my art, to just everything that I do because being expressive is like something that my people have been deprived from being able to do, whether you're looking at my Filipino people, my queer and trans and non-binary people, my autistic and ADHD, mentally ill, or otherwise disabled people, you know, we have all been told not to, I guess, express ourselves just because we're people of color, just because we're queer or trans or non-binary, or just because we're disabled, and so we're supposed to be living according to the standards of a neurotypical able-bodied society, and anything that deviates from that is too much of an accommodation. Like, apparently we don't deserve to be accommodated just because we don't fit the norm. Yeah, so that's that's what I've been thinking about throughout this Pride Month, throughout yeah, because like it just seems like society's been falling into shit. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like the US in general, America in general, it's just been like falling into shit. Because we have these politicians that we've allowed to hijack the political landscape. We have these movements. Like, what the hell is anti-wokeism? What the hell is even wokeism supposed to be? What being able to think critically is now like it's now considered to be woke. Like it's now given this label of being woke. Like when the hell has it been a crime or bad to be aware of these different realities that exist in America, in the world in general? Like to me, it's ridiculous because now I'm seeing Filipino people on Facebook complaining about wokeism. They're on Quora complaining about wokeism. They're on Instagram complaining about wokeism, and I'm just like, are you guys really this colonized? Because I'm Filipino American, but I wasn't taught a lot of these things that I know. Um, and maybe it is the fact that I've always just been so curious about other people's experiences, just because ha- I'm I'm not somebody who can easily easily understand other people's realities, and so I've had to make a concerted effort at doing so. Um, but for me, I am a Filipino American, so I am a Filipino who decries this sort of ideology of anti-intellectualism, as well as just this whole culture of people who are willfully ignorant. Like they are willfully ignorant, not even unwitting, victims of ignorance. They are outright willfully ignorant, and I don't know. It's just really sad that even people of color, even Filipinos, are actually falling for this trap of thinking that, first off, they think that some Filipinos actually think that being queer and trans, those aren't natural to or among Filipinos, when in fact there is documentation after documentation after documentation stating that there were binabae, binalaki, which are people assigned male at birth and people assigned female at birth who are queer or are trans. Like that's literally who they were. Um, and that's just in Tagalog culture, as well as Bisayan culture. In Bisaya, in Binisaya, they call instead of binalaki, it's bina, or I'm bina, instead of binabae, it's binabaye. But it's basically the same term, just because Cebuano and Tagalog cultures are pretty related. Uh, but yeah, it's like these are our, back when we actually still had our indigenous cultures before Spanish colonization. You know, this is what we were. We were already queer people. We were already trans people, and even a lot of men who were assigned male at birth and were men, they engaged in homosexual behavior. Like that was just natural for them. They had no qualms against any of that. They had no qualms about taking bakla, binabae partners And I assume that women had no problem, having a binalake partner either. Like it was just natural for them because in their society, homophobia didn't exist. Now homophobia exists in Philippine society because of colonial mentality from both the Americans and the Spanish people who colonized our nation, that nation. Um Technically I'm not a citizen yet. I will have to be at some point in the future. But yeah, it's it's one of those things. It bothers me a lot because we could be living in the actual year of 2023 where we have like advanced technology that isn't trying to track our data, steal our data, or you know replace us with AI. We could be living in a more harmonious society where we do have advanced technology that actually helps the people. Or, we can have honestly, we have the resources to solve the unhoused crisis all over the world. We have the resources to solve hunger all over the world, as well as the lack of healthcare access all over the world. And yet we decide I to have these ideologies where we are literally encouraging ignorance. Like ignorance is literally being considered a valid ideology, and that's just sad. But yeah, that's I guess a part of why I made this as well. Um, yeah. Anyway, I've been streaming for like almost 3.5 hours. Not even sure if I had like that many viewers. All I know is that it is a Sunday. I am gonna sleep next to my dog within the next hour. Hopefully, I sleep. I might not. But yeah, to anyone who cares or enjoyed the stream, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Otherwise,